I was just getting my car washed when an old friend dropped a bomb that shattered my entire marriage. At that last partner-swapping party, your wife was a star, he said, smiling. The problem? I had no idea what he was talking about. That was the moment everything changed. And from that day on, I stopped being her husband, and became her reckoning.
Welcome to Infidelity Truths. Before we dive into today's gripping story, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more thrilling stories just for you. Let's begin.
I was stunned when I bumped into an old friend and he casually said, "At that last partner-swapping party, your wife was a star. I didn't know you were into that too." The thing is, I wasn't. Not even close. That was the moment everything changed. The sentence that cracked open a reality I hadn't even begun to suspect. It happened at a car wash. I ran into Malik, someone I hadn't seen in almost 6 years. Back in college, we were tight. Late-night pizza runs, shared hangovers, endless dreams about the future. He looked different now, broader, with a full beard. But his grin was the same when he recognized me. "Kai, no freaking way, man." We caught up fast. Work, life, mutual friends. How we both got boring after 30. And then, out of nowhere, he dropped the bomb. His voice light, like he was commenting on the weather. "Your wife was glowing that night. She said it was your idea to stay anonymous. I didn't know you two were in the scene." I laughed at first. Thought he was joking. But my smile froze when I saw the way he nodded, completely serious. That's when I realized 2 things. 1, Malik wasn't kidding. 2, I'd been living with a stranger. I didn't confront her that night. Didn't yell. Didn't demand answers. Because when someone betrays you that deeply, emotional reactions give them power. I needed her to believe I was still in the dark. So I stayed quiet. Calculating. While she was in the shower, I sat on our bed, staring at her phone charger like it could explain everything. What else had I missed? Over the next 2 weeks, I dug. Played dumb while unraveling the life I thought I knew. Her laptop was my first target. Left carelessly on the couch, password-free. She never thought I'd look. She was right, until now. Inside her downloads folder, documents, party guidelines, waiver forms, and guest lists. One name appeared beside hers again and again. Sahara, wife of Kai, spouse not attending. I hadn't even known these parties existed. And she was using me as her alibi. Then I checked her encrypted messaging app. She'd slipped once. Her laptop still showed desktop notifications. While I scrolled her search history, a message popped up. "Can't wait to see you again. You're a goddess." That message unlocked a thread. Dozens of messages, flirty, graphic, obsessive. Men. Women. Compliments. Photos. Locations. Dates. It had been going on for over a year, maybe longer. And in every chat, she invoked my name. Kai prefers to stay private. He knows but likes to keep his distance. Translation: Kai doesn't know a damn thing. And I plan to keep it that way. I wasn't just unaware. I was being used. A cardboard cutout in her fantasy. A name she wore like a security badge to get access. That's when I decided. This wouldn't be a confrontation. It would be a collapse. So, I studied her. Watched her like a stranger under a microscope. Subtle. Silent. Strategic. She once used an old backup app on her Android, still tied to our shared Google. She deleted her Instagram, after the comments flooded in. "You betrayed him. You used your marriage as a costume. This isn't empowerment. It's exploitation." Her career didn't survive either. They didn't fire her, but they buried her. From speaking panels to silent admin. From center stage to a cubicle no one visits. And those lovers who called her queen. Gone. Blocked her. Ghosted her. One messaged, "You lied about your husband. That's unethical. You're not safe." She wasn't just abandoned. She was marked. As a manipulator. A fraud. A cautionary tale. As for me, I stayed calm. I kept the house. Kept my job. Started therapy, not to heal from her, but to rebuild for me. I sleep alone now. But I sleep peacefully. Because no one is lying next to me anymore. People think revenge is rage. Loud. Explosive. But real revenge? It's silent. It's truth, served cold and clean. It's leaving someone alone in the ruins they made, without a mask, without applause. Zahara used my name as a tool. A shield. But I wasn't a partner. I was a prop. And now, she has to live with the reflection she once buried under lies. I didn't win. I just refused to lose with her. If this story struck a nerve, hit like, subscribe, and share it. Tell us in the comments, have you ever been erased by someone you trusted? 3 weeks after Rowan left, the silence in the house became something I wore like armor. No texts. No calls. No surprise knocks at the door begging for a second chance. Just silence. And I didn't miss her voice. I didn't miss the lies tucked into soft sentences. I didn't even miss the way she used to hum when making tea. Because now I knew, every detail was part of the mask. I'd never known the real Rowan. I had loved a ghost wrapped in charm. But life has a strange way of reshuffling itself after disaster. The same week she vanished from our lives, I got a call from an old friend, Celine, a freelance journalist and part-time documentarian. "I heard what happened," she said. "The real story, not the whispers." I hadn't planned to speak to anyone outside of therapy about it. But she wasn't calling out of pity. "I'm working on a piece," she continued. "About betrayal in modern relationships, the hidden cost of deception, and the way tech has changed how we hide and expose secrets. I want to include your story, anonymously, if you prefer." At first, I declined. I wasn't ready to revisit the wreckage. But then I realized something. This wasn't just about Rowan. This was about how easily someone can rewrite your reality and how silence is mistaken for consent. So I said yes. We met in a quiet cafe downtown. She brought a recorder. I brought the truth. For hours, I laid it all bare, how I uncovered the web, how I dismantled it, the strategy behind every move. She didn't interrupt, didn't judge. Just listened. When the article dropped, it went viral in less than 48 hours. It wasn't about vengeance. It was about clarity. About making people understand that betrayal isn't always shouting matches and broken dishes. Sometimes, it smiles with razors behind them. And healing isn't always about forgiving. Sometimes, it's about reclaiming. Rowan saw the article. I know because she emailed me. The subject line was just one word, why? I didn't reply. Because I didn't owe her anything. Not anymore. She showed up once, weeks later. Not at the house, she knew better than that, but at my workplace. She waited outside, hands clasped, eyes full of tears. I walked past her. "Callan, please," she whispered. I stopped but didn't turn around. "You lost the right to use my name when you started using it to lie." She said nothing. I kept walking. She didn't come back after that. A month later, Celine messaged me again. "You've got responses. Dozens of them. People who've been where you were. Who are still trapped." And that's when I realized my silence had created a space for others to find their voice. One man even wrote, "Reading your story gave me the courage to finally walk away." She said I was paranoid. But she was just careful. Now I know. That's what healing became for me, not watching Rowan suffer, but watching others rise. I moved out of the house a few months later. Not because I couldn't stay, but because I didn't want to live in a place haunted by half-truths and shadows. New city. New job. Same name, but no longer someone else's shield. Some nights, I still think of the moment at the car wash when Ben said those words that unraveled it all. I think about how many years I spent asleep in my own life. But I'm awake now. Fully. If you've made it this far, thank you. Not just for listening, but for seeing me. And if you're sitting in a silence that feels suspicious, if you're brushing off gut feelings just to keep the peace, listen carefully. You might be in someone else's fantasy, used for stability while they chase their secret highs. You deserve more. You deserve to be the author of your story, not the alibi in someone else's. And if you're ever forced to choose between your peace and someone else's mask, choose peace. Every time. 6 months later, I no longer flinched at the mention of her name. Rowan had faded, not just from my memory, but from relevance. Whatever life she scrambled to build after the wreckage she left behind, I never bothered to find out. My healing wasn't tied to her failure anymore. I was living in a new city, working as a project strategist for a nonprofit that provided resources to people recovering from emotional trauma. Funny how the pain we go through often leads us to our purpose. My past gave me the empathy I needed to help others build their future. One chilly Saturday morning, I was volunteering at a local bookstore, helping organize a small panel event. We were hosting authors and speakers who had written about personal growth, betrayal, and recovery. I wasn't scheduled to speak, but fate had its own script. One of the guest speakers canceled at the last minute, and the organizer, after hearing snippets of my story, urged me to step in. I hesitated. Then I saw a woman in the front row, tears already in her eyes, clutching a printed copy of the Quiet Collapse article. That's when I knew, this wasn't about me anymore. It was about everyone who needed to hear that survival isn't weakness. It's power. So I stepped up. I told the truth. Not the tabloid version, not the scandal, the human story. About trusting someone with your soul, only to realize they sold it off in pieces behind your back. About breaking down quietly. And rebuilding even quieter. When I finished, the applause wasn't loud, it was real. That kind of soul-shaking silence people carry when they've seen themselves in your words. Afterward, a woman named Tessa came up to me. She didn't say much, just handed me a folded note and whispered, "Thank you for making me feel less stupid." The note said, "I thought I was crazy. But I wasn't. He just made me doubt my own sanity. You helped me remember who I was." That one note did more for me than Rowan's years of empty affection ever did. That I never heard from Rowan again. I imagine she's somewhere out there, charming someone new, spinning stories with the same breath she uses to swear loyalty. But that's not my concern anymore. I'm not bitter. I'm just free. Tessa and I stayed in touch. Slowly, organically. No pressure, no promises. Just two people who'd known pain and decided not to bleed on each other. One evening, we sat on a bench watching the sun dip into the horizon. She turned to me and said, "Do you think pain ever really goes away?" I thought about it for a moment, then replied, "No. But we grow strong enough to carry it without letting it break us." If you're still here, still watching, still unsure, let this story be your sign. Your peace is worth more than anyone's mask. Your truth is louder than their lies. And your healing is not just possible, it's powerful. So like this video, subscribe, and press the bell icon for more stories that remind you, you're not alone. And you'll be more than okay. Account. She never disabled it. Within an hour, I had everything. Her messages, her photos, her hidden world. Hotel rooms I never visited. People I'd never met. Outfits I'd never seen her wear. She smiled in those pictures like she was alive in them. Like I didn't exist. Not even as a shadow. Her girls' weekends? Fake. Her writing retreats? Code for parties. There were 8 of them. 8. Every single one marked spouse informed and supportive. I wasn't supportive. I was silent. Not anymore. I started crafting my response, methodically. Collected screenshots. Chat logs. GPS data. Photos. Even voice memos. Then I packaged it all into 3 bundles. Bundle 1, for her family and friends. Bundle 2, for HR and her nonprofit's ethics board. Bundle 3, for the lifestyle moderators of the community she misled. Each bundle told a different story. All of them ended the same, exposed. The first email went out. Subject line, "You deserve to know who she really is." Anonymous. Untraceable. Inside, a PDF with timelines, conversations, and hotel receipts. I sent it to her sister, her parents, and her 3 closest friends. Then I waited. She sat across from me that morning, sipping coffee and scrolling her feed. Oblivious. Smiling. But I had already heard her sister's voicemail. "You lied to all of us, Sahara. And using Kai like that? You're disgusting." By lunch, her mom removed her from the family group chat. One of her friends posted a vague quote about snakes shedding their skin. She noticed. "Everyone's being weird," she said. I just looked up and replied, "Maybe they finally found out who you really are." She laughed. She thought I was kidding. She wouldn't be laughing for long. By day 3, her office placed her on leave. Community engagement jobs require trust. They got the HR packet, carefully edited, still damning. "We are reviewing ethics concerns and pausing all public assignments," the email read. "Corporate speak for your radioactive." She came home pale. "Something's happening at work." I nodded. "Yeah. Sounds like consequences." The final blow came from her precious lifestyle community. When I sent them her chats, especially the one where she wrote, "Kai doesn't need to know everything," they banned her. Not suspended. Blacklisted. No more events. No more forums. She emailed. No one answered. That night, she sat on the couch, phone in hand, tears in her eyes. "I don't understand. Everyone's cutting me off." I leaned against the doorframe. That's what happens when the truth catches up. "Kai, what did you do?" "Nothing more than you earned." I didn't scream. I didn't rage. I just reclaimed my name. A week later, she packed her things. 1 suitcase. A plastic bin. A box labeled Essentials. The smallest move-out I'd ever seen. She moved in with her sister. No goodbye. No fight.
Thank you, my amazing subscribers. Wow, what a journey. If you've made it to the end of this story, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Your support means everything to me. Every time you watch, like, and comment, you're helping keep this channel alive and growing. And trust me, the best is yet to come. I see all your comments. I feel your love, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Your thoughts and feedback inspire me to create even more powerful stories. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a new upload. More shocking twists, emotional journeys, and real-life lessons are on the way, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Together, we're building an incredible community, and I'm so grateful to have you on this journey with me. Stay strong, stay inspired, and remember, sometimes life's greatest lessons come from the most unexpected moments. See you in the next story.